Hello and welcome to day 8 of the Nature Connected Neighbourhoods 30-day Nature Connection Challenge. I'm a little bit sport for choice today for something to focus on for our nature connection. So I was going to come out and do sense of touch and but actually I'm going to leave that one for another day. So this teasel is absolutely wonderful in terms of textures and things like that, and also patterns. So I will come back to patterns for another day as well. I mean, there's just this wonderful. Don't know if you can see that. It's kind of honeycomb almost. But this is last year's teasel growth, and obviously it's now quite dead. This part of the plant, and so there are lovely new green leaves coming for this year's season. But the invitation today actually is to connect with the parts in the life cycle in that sort of the dead stage, and that's just getting in touch with that, and just noticing what arises, just noticing sort of our relationship with that, whether there's a sort of an aversion to this part of the life cycle, as there can be, that we're kind of conditioned to resist this part of the life cycle, to feel that it's messy and to tidy it up out of view. But actually, apart from sort of leaving these and the goldfinches were coming in and feeding on them earlier in the year, that also these dead parts of the plant can be fantastic for sort of insects overwintering. So there are little places in the stems and all these little lovely little holes and things. They're very tiny invertebrates. So they're really important, and something that you're encouraged to do in wildlife gardening is actually to not be too tidy, to leave full life cycle as much as possible. And all these lovely dead parts, the dead leaves and things on the ground end up being recycled. So we've got some lovely worm casts down here. It's lovely, gorgeous, dark soil. And so everything's being kind of recycled and reused. And, these dead bits are important food for many invertebrates, particularly. When we're talking about larger animals, they're important for scavengers. So all the kind of the decomposers, the scavengers. There are lots of animals who rely on these parts, and actually, we rely on them as well. We rely on the animals that do all that lovely cleanup to help us to recycle and to keep our environments free from diseases. So they're really, really important. And so the more we can support them by letting this kind of full life cycle happen, the better. But as we had yesterday, there's lots of metaphor, that we're kind of resistant to endings, and we have maybe a tendency to want things to be in perpetual growth phase, and to live our lives in this perpetual doing mode, and to be very resistant to rest. And so, just there's a lot of richness there in this sort of metaphor, as to whether we can allow things to kind of have a full cycle, to turn full circle, and to be really in balance, and to explore what that means. If any population was just went on forever, but had that new generations were coming in, then before very long the planet would have no capacity to hold all that. We have to have this kind of whole cycle. It's really important in the way that our Earth systems work. That's the way things are. That we have these cycles, and we're allowing them, all of it, to happen. That we're honouring all of it, And so this might be part of the way that we're reshaping our relationship with life, both on a personal level, but also in terms of our relationship with nature. So yeah, lots to explore there. And I'll leave it there for today, and look forward to being back again with you tomorrow.